everybody, welcome back to Finding Joy in Becoming. And today I'm going to be talking about the three books that helped me discover my purpose. You know, and before I get into it, I'd like to let you guys know this. I don't think you can ever fully know what your purpose is. I think you can just know what it's aligned to or what your passion is. I feel like your passion and your purpose, there's a way in which they connect. Your passion is like a signal to your purpose, which you might live your whole entire life not knowing what it is. Do that make sense? Yes. So I've had people be like, I don't have a purpose. I've had people be like, I don't feel fulfilled. I've had people be like, I want to change my way of life. I've had people be like, there's just something in G inside that they cannot explain, that doesn't feel satisfied despite them having everything that they need. And all the time what I say is that, you seeing that thing, you noticing it's the first step towards your change or towards you reaching what you were born to be. Let me tell you something. When a phone is working properly, this is me being all motivational, but when your phone is working well, before your battery dies, it notifies you. The fact that your phone is still able to notify you should not be an inconvenience. Instead, it should let you know, I need to charge my phone. So that's the thing. With us people, when we get those notifications or those signals from our bodies or from that part that is beyond the physical, we tend to view that as an inconvenience because we don't want to transform. We don't want to charge our phones. We just want to relax. But that's not happening. So let's not ignore those things and get one of the books. No, I had a lot of disclaimers. This is me merely just sharing my own opinions. I know that we have very different opinions about passion and purpose. Some people think we were born to live the normal way of life, which is going to school, getting married, getting a job, getting a kid, and that's pretty much what they think we were born to do. I don't believe that. All of those things, they're good. We can acquire them, but that's not the sole reason for our existence. We were born for something bigger than us. Let's get into the video. First on the list is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I don't know how to pronounce the surname, and I'm sorry. The book is The Alchemist. You guys probably have heard of the book, and if you haven't, which side of BookTube or BookTube are you at? The Alchemist is one of the most famous books. It speaks about the story of a boy named Santiago. It's been a while since I read the book, so a lot of things just slipped my mind, but the effect, it left a very long lasting effect in my life. It had a very long lasting effect. Slow. So the book covers the life of Santiago, who decides to go on a journey to pursue his dreams, to pursue wealth, to pursue worldly possessions. And he had the idea that his journey was set. Like, that's something that we always do, or we always think. We want to find definite answers to every life question that we might have. I don't know if I make sense. Oh my word, this is different. I don't know if I make sense, but that's what we want to do. We want to find that answer. And even Santiago wanted to find that treasure, find that answer to everything. Even throughout his journey, he just has one goal: to find that answer. Along his journey, he meets a bunch of people who teach him different things. One thing that we can get out of this book is that it promotes the process of following your dreams. Not only following your dreams, but enjoying the journey of following your dreams. But because one mistake that we make as people is to focus solely on the results, and that's the reason why we can never really be satisfied, because we can never really stop being in a journey. Even if you find results for this, there's going to be another journey that you're going to take. So when you're just going to be happy when you see results. That's why we need to find joy in becoming. Okay. And then as they are walking, uh as he's taking his journey, he meets different people who affect how he views life, who affect how he views the world. And it's a very wonderful book. Please do read it for yourself. One thing that it constantly speaks about, it speaks highly on what is called fate. It believes that everything that happens is written. It is written in the stars. When you meet the life of your life, it is already written. When you find that job, it is already written. The moment you have that passion or that purpose or whatever it is, it does not come from any place that's beyond you, but instead is the first step towards you pursuing what is already written. You know, the book preaches the idea that when you have a dream and you follow it, the universe is going to conspire to ensure that you reach those goals and those dreams that you have. You know, so all you need to do is actually take the first step, and everything else is just going to work out in your favor. It also does speak about how we view things, you know, because sometimes things are not working in our favor because we're not pursuing them. But the moment you start pursuing something, you start to feel like, oh, actually, this, you know, you start to even see things that you didn't see before that are helpful. I don't know if I'm making sense. Like, before I started this journey of self-employment, I did not know that we have. Hello, I'm back, guys. In case you didn't notice, there was a glitch, there was a cut, because apparently my phone was overheating and stuff. Or when I phone technology. So as I was saying that before I thought about self-employment, before I thought about actually doing this writing thing for real, I didn't know about all the opportunities that are surrounding me and all the people around me who are doing the same work that I want to do. But it was when I decided to pursue it that everything else just worked out in my favor. So, you know, just follow your dreams, everything else will work out. The second book, drum roll. If you're new to this channel, you haven't heard about it, but if we've been here before, you know what the book is. The 40 Rules of Love by Shafack. I've spoken about this book more times than I can count, and all the time when I speak about it, I speak about it from the perspective of the housewife who reads the book. It changes her life, you know. It's a housewife inside the book who reads the book titled Sweet Blasphemy. But now I want us to focus on Sweet Blasphemy. If you want to hear more about the housewife, please go back to my book recommendations. I have a book recommendation video. But now let's focus on the Sweet Blasphemy part. On the Sweet Blasphemy part, we have two characters, Shams and Rumi. Shams his sole purpose in life is to find Rumi and to ensure that he resurrects the poet in him, the love in him, because Rumi is a esteemed, you know, a very highly loved prophet or priest. I don't remember exactly what he was, and he is far or out of touch with the reality of the people that he preaches to. Now Sham's job is to bring him down to the level of the people, to make him see, to make him laugh, you know, to make him get over those white horses that he'd be climbing when he's going to church, those white sheets. Nigga didn't even step on the ground. People had to lay things for him, you know. So it was Sham's job to ensure that he reconnects with the poet in him, and by doing so he shaped a lot of things. The order of things shaped. There were a lot of people who hated Shams because he was changing Rumi. He was making him deviate from the norm, you know, and that threatened a lot of things, threatened the church and everything else in between. But at the end, love prospered and Rumi reconnected with his love for poetry. He got to live life not as he was expected to live it, but how he wanted to live it. So this book teaches us about destiny, about faith, about purpose, you know, purpose. And it also does bring forward the idea of, we want solid, as people we want solidness, we want I don't know how to explain this. We want definite things. We want guaranteed answers. So it just brings forward the idea that we must be willing to change, to adapt, to learn, to grow, you know? And it speaks mostly about love. It speaks about love, not romantic love. No, it speaks about love. It says that if you experience love, there needs to be a transformation in your life. If you experience love and you feel like there's no transformation, then newsflash, that's not love. It also speaks about love. It says that when you enter the zone of love, language as you know it becomes obsolete. You know, when you enter the zone of love, it doesn't need a lot of words. You know, you feel it, you know it. You know, get yourself that book, man. It's a very nice book. It teaches you about spirituality, it teaches you about love, but also it just teaches us that we are just a small part of a very, very huge universe, and we place ourselves above a lot of things. Hey, as human beings, we do. Just let's let God and fate and life just control our destinies. Let's just follow our hearts, because our heart is a guide. Yeah, I said what I said. Lastly, the book that made me, you know, discover my purpose, passion. I feel like I'm speaking in codes, but I understand myself. But I don't know how to, you know, take this thing that's inside of me, take this thing that I'm understanding, take this thing and just break it down in such a way that everybody, despite their background, despite their whatevers, despite their beliefs, can understand it. How do I do that? Anyways, the last book on the list is The Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Rick Warren is a pastor, and the 40 rules of love is no, not the 40 rules of love, man. The purpose driven life is more of a Christian approach to the issues of purpose and living your life. You know, it is different from any book that I've read. I've read. It's a devotion. It was my first devotion, and it has a chapter for each day. So it's going to be a 40-day journey because it has like 40 chapters, and very interesting. I remember the first time I read it, there was an introduction, and he did mention that most people read a book all at once. They read it in one sitting, and I was guilty of that. But this is the type of book that you need to read slowly so that you can, you know, let the words simmer. And I did read it slowly, and it did change my outlook on life. What it basically says is that it's not about you. Yeah, your purpose have never been about you. I know. When you think about purpose, when you think about calling, we think about the stage, we think about the crowd, we think about the wealth. God, we think about all of those things, but it's not for that. You know, all of that will come. It's part of the packs. You know, it's the what do you say, the remuneration, but that's not the sole purpose. And this is also to say that just because you don't have all of that, just because you don't have all of the stages and everything, your purpose doesn't stop being there. It doesn't stop being effective. I don't like, just because you don't have that stage does not mean that you're not doing your God's purpose, or you're not doing your job, or you're not doing your part. You know, it's just that we as people have a way of measuring things in this physical thingy of ours. It speaks about, it's not about you, you know, it's about God. We were not made for ourselves. Um, we were made for a reason. I don't really want to get deep into this part because you know why? Some people will be offended. I'm not ready to step onto people's toes. But we were made for God. We were made to worship Him. We were made for fellowship. We were made to live a disciplined life. We were made to discover who we are in Christ. We were made to find God and find what He says we are and follow that path. That's what we were made for. We live in a world that's constantly chasing a lot of things. You know, we're constantly chasing something. We were not made for all of those things. Not, you know, it's just that sometimes reality just becomes a bit too much, eh? And we have no choice but to do what we have to do. But even when you're doing what you have to do, Sanosam, do not make the mistake of thinking that's what you were made to do. That's what you were called to do. You know? Anyways, that's it from me. Haita am over and above everything. We're made for a special purpose, man. Special reason, you know? And I hope you find what you were made for. And I hope you do read these books, hey? What's this video about? Is it about passion or is it about books? Because I feel like I focused more on the passion side of things than the books. Passion is not predetermined. It's not set in stone. You might live your whole entire life osadziwi, but you have touched people in one way or another. And we tend to think that passion should be something huge. Like you should be a writer or a singer or something. No. Your passion can be just to bring financial freedom in your family's lives. Your passion could be for you to just be the prayer or the intercessor in your family's life. Your purpose could just be you being that shoulder for people to cry on. It doesn't always have to be something that's big, that has world tours, that has stages. You know? Your purpose might be to help someone discover their dream. Small. Okay? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this with your friend. Bye.